Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So obviously I'm recording this right after the last part because you can't like save in the middle of the class trial, I don't think. But I just wanted to stop it because we were like at 34 minutes. So we are going to continue with the class trial. Okay. What's with Byakuya's see, I already forgot Byakuya's attitude. It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like there's nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
I can't even remember his name!
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
I already know.
We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
I already know what they are.
Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Yeah. The cord from the thing, and the fact that you were in the boys' room. I clicked on the wrong thing. The differences between the case and the other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves whatever is responsible hidden in there. What could it be? Make your argument. Library desk lamp. There you go. I don't know how that's...
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Yep.
And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Yep.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from,
Byakuya.
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Okay, good. I was like, shit, I missed. Yes.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
Still trying to remember his name. Byakuya.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room.
Nope.
Then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it.
Well, that part, yes.
Is that about right?
Nope. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. And if he's not even involved... Wait, not even
What's
involved.
wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened.
Nope.
So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
I really think it's him.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
You
Is
do
that
it.
right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but that doesn't mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said? Byakuya. The scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakua. Okay. Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved about the crime scene, Byakua, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakua never even realized the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Does that mean it wasn't
Come
him?
on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Is it not him? I totally think it's him. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. Something that was switched between the boys' locker room and the girls'. Well, we definitely know it was this.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
And the carpet.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
Look at them. That is awesome.
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
Sakura.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the same as scrubbed away. It was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Yep.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Leon's thing.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
She was a boy, so. Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Yes. Leon's book. Broken e-handbook.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Yes.
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
No. Damn it.
Shoot!
Damn it. Oh, I'm doing so bad.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked her e-handbook!
I was like, no, she didn't. She got a broken one.
After all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that,
yeah,
she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room, but when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there was no doubt that it was, in which case we really say she used it.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Did she hack?
Ah, I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate programmer, after
Should she
all.
hack Leon's?
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Damn it! What the fuck?
Shoot!
I don't. Ugh! I hate this. I don't know. Like.
She must have hacked.
But Leon's handbook is broken. Well, okay, so Leon's handbook is broken. That should have made goddamn sense. I'm stupid. I just overthinking this, and it's like.
Talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong.
Well, she did use Leon's handbook though, even though it was broken. Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
But you don't know that it was his.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess.
But you don't know it's his.
Huh?
You can't tell.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone
No.
else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing.
She could have used Leon's handbook.
In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
But it might. If hers was broken and she switched them, you know what I'm saying?
So then, she must have hacked
Or-
hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So she was a
So
boy.
if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't
She was a boy?
modify her own handbook,
But then how'd they get into the girls?
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room. Byakuya was the one who did it. So I don't know what else I
Hold
can
on
do.
a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
Unless she was a boy, and then Byakuya used one of the girls' handbooks and then put it back.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
She
What are
was
you
a boy.
talking about?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We had it off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
I don't want to examine her body very carefully. That's inappropriate.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
That's inappropriate. I know she's dead,
No
but...
way!
Right.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will
She's a boy.
solve this particular mystery.
Totes a dude.
Her entire
Well,
body?
okay. I shouldn't say
I know
that.
you say that, but...
I shouldn't say that because she's not really... She's just... I'm guessing she was born a boy and she's transgender. That's what I'm guessing.
What? This is... What is this?
Yeah.
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
She's transgender. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is...
Is what?
A boy.
Is a boy!
Yep.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he.
Not, well, genetically speaking.
What?
Just, you know, in her parts. Anyway.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
So that's why she could get into the boys' room.
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
How about the volumes, that guy? The music seems loud. I turned it down.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
Can we... Hold on a second. I turned the, I wanted the volume... Okay. I want you guys to be able to hear the voices, so I turned the music down so I could turn the recording volume up, because I can't turn the voices up any higher than they are in the game.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting.
So...
Now then, let's resume the class trial.
So that's kind of... I kind of thought that, but also thought she could have used Leon's handbooks. Okay, she didn't lose... But then... Whatever his name is. I could have used one of the girls' handbooks, the dead girls, Junko or Sayaka's, and used it to get into the girls' room to move the body and then put it back, so.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy, the thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Keep calling her a she, though.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Ooh, that's kind of... Okay, maybe. Alright.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion.
And maybe he was. I mean, you don't know. We don't know in Chihiro's case if Chihiro was, you know, just a boy that liked to wear girls' clothes or was transgender. We don't really know. But, like, so, I don't know, but...
The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
Because the murderer thought Chihiro was a girl.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
Yep.
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but Yes,
The
that
motive
does seem plausible.
for moving the body was to frame a girl because it's a girl. You're killing Chihiro, and the person who murdered her thought she was a girl, not a boy. Was probably wondering how the hell she got into the boys' locker room, murdered her and moved her. Yeah.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting.
Bird.
This has become very interesting indeed.
Bird keeps trying to eat my phone.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I
don't know.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What the frick?
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Oh, okay, this is creepy.
At least, that's how I see it.
Well, fuck, I don't know then.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
I hate him so much.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit.
Of course you would say that.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe.
But
you're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Yeah, why would you want them to be confused and point the finger at someone else? Because if you pointed the finger at Toko, say, oh, totally her, we'd all be wrong and we'd all be dead. Wouldn't you want to know? Like, so he's completely fucking mental. Because he's like, I'm gonna fuck with the body, so now there's the big mystery and we can all play this game. And it's like, yeah, but you just fucked everyone up.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
There's not many
Because if
people
we're
to be.
wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn
Not a girl.
straight. Count me in.
It's obviously a guy because only a guy could have gotten in the guy's
Do
locker
you
room.
not
so-
have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
I really wanted it to be him so we could kill him. I hate him. Byakuya? Byakuya didn't do it. Then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. Killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means the killer is a guy. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have to use their own. Okay, so that's why Leon's was broken. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Wait a minute, hippie dude knew that the handbooks... What was Celeste's account? He knew that there was stuff...
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
Not true.
No, that's wrong.
Man, this class trial is going to take a long time. Like...
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Why can't you just keep calling her her? I mean...
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto?
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
She's cray-cray.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
I don't think it'd be Mole Man here because
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
True.
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
I do?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
I do?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Track jacket.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Track
What?
jacket.
You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. No, because you would think you picked up a track jacket that you would wear. Okay, this is gonna be... Oh, Jesus. Celeste's account. Okay.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yep.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
No.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
I just don't understand.
Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
What he said just now was really odd. How did he know something like that?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
The
So
blue
next
tracksuit.
is, why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Blue tracksuit.
That's wrong.
So it was Mondo?
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
That's true. Mondo is actually really nice to Chihiro. You know, like something like getting strung. Oh, thanks. And he was being really nice to her. That's interesting. Oh, God.
What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he had it off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
It was Mondo?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro...
Because
I'm sorry, I clicked that too fast.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Ooh, I never
And
would have guessed
the only
Mondo.
reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony...
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone. She was trying to hide it because it's a boy's tracksuit.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
Because he has been being nice
But
to Chihiro.
why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he was acting. No?
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
And he always kept calling Chihiro a dude.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
Ah, I did.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Yeah, because he did say that he was like, dude was like really always wanting to be strong. And I was like, I don't know why he keeps calling him a dude. Like, it didn't.
notice such
And I didn't even put two and two
tiny
together after
detail?
I thought about Chihiro being a guy.
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
Holy shit.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I'm gonna wrap this part up here because we're at 35 minutes. So I'm going to stop this part here. And when we come back on the next part, we'll find out if Mondo did it, which I'm sure he did. I don't know how much longer it's gonna be, and I don't want to go too long. You know what? Forget it. Screw it. We're gonna keep going. And we're just gonna see if this one ends up being like more than 40 minutes, then that's fine.
I didn't kill anyone!
We'll keep going.
You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
Christ.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
Hmm? What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... It's... Chihiro's?
I got it!
Because hers was missing,
We
right?
know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
Oh.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
Okay, I lied. I'm totally going to wrap this part up here. Because I have a feeling now with the handbook breaking thing, it's going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time, and we will continue with the case. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.